Now that I'm sitting here, I was thinking about it, and I just did that video where I talk about my annual performance. Um, I'm gonna see, since I'm kind of in the fields, I'm gonna see if I can maybe explain something about like ABA. ABA is incredibly challenging. This is just my personal view, okay? I know that I kind of feel like you can't really fit 10 people into a room, give them all information, and even have like an instructor teach everyone the same thing. Like, let's say somebody hands 10 people a manual, and and then they even give a training. I feel like if they were to give those 10 people a shot, like let's say in the field, whatever manual, everyone's gonna do something a little bit different, right? So that's why. So anything I say, I want to make sure that people understand that I'm saying this from me, okay? From me. I don't want to represent anything. I don't like labels. I don't want to say, oh, because I'm a behavior therapist and I'm in the field of, behavior analysis, this is the way things are. I want to tell you from what I see. And I think that this is what made me want to do this organization, is because I want to be there for people who feel the way I did with my son. There's different organizations that think differently and do things differently. So I think humans, we all do things differently. I don't believe in professionals. I'll probably say the word professional because to not waste time countering that word. But I don't think it exists like to say, oh, that person is a professional, because you can have 10 professionals in one room, give them all a manual, give them all the training, send them out in the field, and then everyone does their own version of what we all learned. So I just want to really quickly just try to give like a quick video about ABA. ABA, it's not a one size fits all, not even for the person that's conducting the ABA, right? Like the strategies. So sometimes it doesn't work because of the way the person, applies the strategies to the child. For me, I strongly believe that the power of, let's call it like unconditional love, is what can open a human being to accepting knowledge. So I apply strategies with a lot of care, I'll call it care, to not call it love, right? I'll say care. I care for these families, I care for these children, and I use care to have the child open up to me so that I can teach the child, use strategies with the child, and help him or her succeed. And it's really challenging. It's really challenging at times, really challenging. There's a million strategies that you can apply that kind of even counter each other sometimes. So it's a game of seeing which one at that particular moment works best. Otherwise, we might accidentally sometimes reinforce maladaptive behavior. So you have to be almost robotic, but almost at the same time, for me, I have to be sometimes robotic in the sense of like, I need to use my computer brain to go through my file and pull out the best strategy at that moment for that particular behavior that this child is having, so that I don't make a mistake. And I have to at the same time use care, like tons and tons of care, so that I can so that this child can accept my teachings, but at the same time I have to kind of be a little firm, not too firm to where I betray this child and he or she no longer, excuse me, he or she no longer trusts me, but firm enough to say, hey, I can follow through with my request, or I have my face on where, like, you're not really going to get too away with this, but sometimes I will let you get away with this. So it's really hard. A lot of times I give my own version of a strategy, and I think that's why this video that I just made, where I feel very happy about my the way my supervisors accept, I mean, okay, so gave me their point of view of my performance, and it's like, we think you're doing like awesome. I feel like that's also like, hey, like if I had more time, I would tell you that I think your personal way of doing things is just incredible. Like that blend of your own personality blended into professional strategies is just beautiful. Of course, I'm just making this up. I shouldn't say it like that. But I feel almost like, well, it has to be that. It has to be that, because you're given so many different ways of implementing a strategy by different supervisors. Our supervisors change all the time, like all the time. And so every single one has their own version of how to do things. When I found that out, I thought, wait a minute, how is this possible? Aren't we all taking the same exact training? And when I ask questions, it's like, yeah, but, so I'm like, that's okay. I'm not gonna ding anyone for having their own way of doing things. I just have to relearn sometimes the way different supervisors want this done. And it's challenging. That in itself is challenging. So, and sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it the way I really in my heart think can work. I don't want to say right. That's another label. I don't like the labels right or wrong. I don't even think that exists. Oh my god, that's my husky. Bro, what's up with you? So there's no right or wrong, but just what does work, right? Like, say hi. What does work? So what does work, right? So I just do it. And even if my supervisors are there and they're like, let's try this way. And that's where I start asking a bunch of questions. I'll say, like, because we're there most of the time with the child, I've already learned. I'll say, whenever I try it that way, this is the result of that. And like, is there any way that maybe this method could be okay? Like, I'm not doing it because of XYZ. I'm doing it because of, ZYX. And then it's like the supervisors will be like, you know what? Yeah, if it works, it works. Go for it. I think then, because they know the intention behind whatever it is I'm doing, they probably see it in me. The intention is, I want this child to succeed. The intention is never, I want to succeed. Like, no me voy a admirar against the child or their families. I want the child to succeed. Not me, not my company, not anybody else, but the child. Dang it. I was supposed to not cry. Sorry. So it's really hard. There's a lot of strategies. You have to know exactly when to pull the right strategy at the right time. Apply it as best as you possibly can. Not overwhelm the child who's already possibly overwhelmed, who's possibly having a strong behavior. Not insult the families. Make sure that you do everything with a lot of love, care, patience, empathy, sympathy, understanding, and 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 then what is the ending result? Like, what do you want to gain out of this? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. It's really challenging, really challenging, really, really, really challenging. Some children have extreme behaviors. Some children really don't want to do something. Is it worth getting this child to do this? Let's celebrate the small wins. Can parents be okay with these small wins? Are you, enabling non-preferred behaviors? Are you providing enough positive reinforcements at the right time to not, to show this child that, like, this is the preferred way of doing a particular thing? What is preferred? You know what I mean? Like, I sometimes struggle with that. Like, I don't want my little kiddo all super mega perfect while everybody else gets to break all the rules, and then he or she is filled with this anxiety because it's my job to teach him or her to follow the rules, to not have, challenging behaviors, while everybody else gets to, you know, be human. And so it's a really extremely challenging position. So I read a lot of books. I'm trying to read all the B.F. Skinner books. I ask a lot of questions. I do what I can to really try to get there, to really, really try to get there. So yeah, just to have heard someone tell me, like, wow, in the way she told me, it was like a for real, like, wow. God, that just like that just felt really, 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 really good. So yeah, I just wanted to make the second video to continue a little bit more, but yeah.